Saturday show.
Saturday Night Showdown.
Welcome back, Lee.
Yeah, Saturday Night Showdown.
Saturday night.
That's what it was called.
Saturday Night Showdown.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Showdown. Welcome everybody. Welcome Lee, back to the studio.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. This week though, we're going to look at hybrids.
Yeah, boring, aren't they, hybrids?
Well, they don't get as much traction as what drivers and maybe some irons get. So,
No.
which they shouldn't they? You know, fairway woods, hybrids, they just struggle to get some traction.
In the land of YouTube they do, but in the land of golf, they're probably some of the most important clubs for high handicappers, mid handicappers, I think.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
But everyone cares about drivers.
They do. They want distance. So we've brought in 2 different hybrids today of our own choice, again, to review and test and come up with our own opinions on what they look like, what they feel like, how workable they are.
Yep.
And what have you brought in today then?
So I have brought in a hybrid that's kind of grown on me.
Okay.
And I don't really like the look of it, but I brought it in. So I brought in the Maverick hybrid. It's just the standard Maverick, not the Max or the Pro, just the standard Maverick. And this is Callaway's option for game improvement.
Okay.
Is what they're classing it as.
But they do a Max version
they do
and a Pro version?
A Max and a Pro, so there's more of a woody, because this is kind of irony type.
Right,
so it's
okay.
much more like an iron hybrid.
Yeah.
They do the Pro, which is wood shaped, and then they do the Max, which off the top of my head I can't remember what it looks like. So as with Callaway, packed with technology, jailbreak, standard, something that Callaway are keeping in all their clubs nowadays.
Yeah.
But the hybrid now has the SS20 flash face, so it's the most recent face that Callaway do.
Okay.
And this is now designed by their super duper AI computer.
Oh, so we're getting that sort of...
Yeah. So
more intelligent than us face.
I think there's a lot more intelligent than us.
Certainly more than me anyway.
So, like most people do, last year's driver technology is coming into this year's woods and hybrids.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're saying off-centre strikes will give you better ball speeds and more forgiveness across the face.
Okay.
Non-adjustable.
No,
completely.
I see that, yeah.
This one's 20 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's completely non-adjustable and can't be adjusted at any point.
Okay.
What have you got?
I've brought in the COBRA SZ.
Z.
SZ, you're going to say SZ?
I'm English.
Yeah, I've got it as the SZ, American Z in there. So I've brought this one in. Now, for me, Cobra are probably, they're very well known for their hybrids. So year on year, I've always stopped Cobra at Torquay here, and we sell lots of Cobra hybrids. They were kind of, I'll be honest, they were kind of one of the originals to bring a baffler hybrid type of iron wood out, really.
And baffler being...
A baffler was their kind of original one.
Oh, so that was the brand name of it?
It was a baffler, yeah, they called it a baffler, but it was certainly back in, you know, I think about the very old school Cobra baffler that was very much promoting the sort of higher launch, helping kind of club, really, for guys moving in from longer irons into wood. So Cobra have been doing this for years, and they are very, very good on this. Now, this one is interchangeable. So I have an interchangeable head here. So this is a 19 we've got it set up as, but we can move it into a 2 or a 3, so we can move it down to 17 and we can move it up a little bit. Okay. So there's some changeability there. We've got a little bit of a weight port in the back here as well. So we've got a little weight pushed into the back. Again, the idea to push the CG a little bit further away from the face, help you launch it maybe just that fraction higher, make it a little bit more sort of higher flight and then stopping a little bit quicker, which is what Cobra is saying. We've got the rails on the bottom, which again, the idea of the rails is again for turf interaction to help get that golf ball out of some tricky positions, is what Cobra are kind of saying about this one. And then we've got the inserted face. So this has actually been an inserted face put in there again for helping with off-centre strikes, hotter off the club face, all those little jazzy marketing things that these companies say there.
Keywords. Question. The weight in here, from a fitting point of view, is it interchangeable?
No, it doesn't come with a different weight. That's a 12 gram weight which sits in there. I'm sure the tour players get better access than what we do, but for the most part, you're going to leave that as a 12 gram weight in there.
Okay. I suppose we better...
So we'll get some numbers, shall we?
Start hitting these.
Let's do it.
Bad boys.
Right, Lee, kick us off. Kick us off. You're going to go out with the Maverick.
So I'm going to start with the Maverick. Yeah. And looks wise, I said in the intro, I don't particularly like the bottom. I think it's pretty, you know, it's nothing there. Nothing there that makes me think like shelf appeal on the shelf.
Okay.
I don't like iron looks, so you're kind of wondering why I brought this in.
Well, that's all right. We've got to review a lot, so you may as well start with this one.
So I don't particularly like the look of them. I've never in the past, but I brought this in because it surprised me. Down at the ball, it looks pretty traditional. There's not a lot going on the top. You can't really see any of this marking that's going around, so it's just a sort of black-headed hybrid. And I like the fact that the face blends in quite well because it's kind of a darker grey steel.
Okay.
But the toe sticks up.
Yeah.
Or it gives me that impression that the toe is sticking up, which I don't particularly like when it comes to this hybrid. But there's a point in this hybrid that I love, and you're about to hear it. And that was slightly at the toe.
Okay.
But I just love the noise.
Yeah, you liking that? What's jumping out at you with the noise?
You just know you've hit it. You know, there's no. It's tingy. Yeah. But it's kind of like when you hit it well, it's just a massive ting. I just love that noise for it. Okay.
So we're giving it some good ratings on the noise straight away.
I just love that noise.
It does sound fractionally tinny from back here.
Yeah, so I've not really hit one out in the middle, to be honest, which is kind of depressing. But I think the noise when it comes to a hybrid, anything woody and you get that crack, I quite like that.
And what's it carrying? How far are you hitting this? This is what, 20 degrees?
So this is 20 degrees. I carried that 195, didn't quite get it right. This to me would be a 205, 210 club.
Right. Okay.
My 19 degrees about a 215.
Yeah.
So this would be 205 to 210 on a good hit. Okay. But it has a hot face. So the downside to this club from previous testing is you can get a flyer.
Right.
So there we are, 206, slightly out to the right. So for me, it's doing what I need it to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't look the best in my opinion. Sounds phenomenal, and the feel off the face, you get that feedback because of the noise. So it's going to score highly for sound and feel, but not particularly for looks for me.
Okay, let me have a little go with that now then. Right, so first impressions are, it looks just like every other Callaway hybrid that I've ever tested. Never been a massive fan. It feels quite square in its face looking down at it, as in when I look down there, I think it's because of the way in which the grooves kind of finish and they're flush square down. I've never really liked the look of the sort of really high toe, as in what I mean by that is it's a bit bulbous at the end. So it just, it all sort of sits up to me. I don't know what it looked like to you, but you did mention about high toe, but it just seems a bit square in the face, not enough roundedness in it from my liking. And then it's almost like a kind of a pear shape, I suppose, but it's a bit bulbous.
Just like a lie angle's up. That's what I kind of think. You know, like you got an iron that the lie angle's up a lot.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
I understand what you're saying, and I think it's down to the fact that because the toe is it doesn't blend away. Like a lot of hybrids, you can see the head want to blend away down towards the floor. This one remains up in its kind of look there. So never been a massive fan of any of the Callaway hybrids that have kind of come out, if I'm honest, from the looks. Feel, however,
that's that noise I was talking about.
Yeah, completely different. So, you know, I actually, when I look down at this, I think it's going to come out a little bit more thuddy. But then when you hit it, you get that nice springy tin kind of feel off the face. And that to me is a kind of a bit of a sound of a bit more power, you know? Like the chevron on top. Always like the look of the Callaway little marking on top of it. Just that little chevron there, it really just helps to kind of line the golf ball up and square the face up for me, which is what I kind of like. It's really easy to get that ball centered to the face.
How can you not like that noise, Dan?
Yeah, it's good. It really is good. I mean, I'm carrying this about 195, a little bit pushy out to the right a fraction, but it's, you know, the sound is really, I would say the sound is better than the look on the actual club. Like the high gloss finish as well in the black, that kind of just, you know, I kind of like the glossy finishes rather than necessarily the matte finishes. And there's a 207, so again, a little bit lower in the spin, so I've probably caught that fraction higher up the face than the previous two. But yeah, pretty good from the first impressions of your little Maverick.
Let's check yours out now.
Right, Lee, Cobra now,
Yes.
SZ.
First time hitting a Cobra hybrid for a very long time for me.
Okay.
Initial impressions underneath, a bit busy.
A lot going on there,
Yeah, a lot going on.
A lot of technology though. Split rails, I forgot to mention those split rails there.
Those there.
Okay, so they're giving it a little bit more flex, okay, compared to the sort of the older rail that they used to put in there, which is ultimately giving apparently 70% more of a hot spot across the face from heel to toe. So basically giving you a bigger sweet spot.
Is that going to help with lower face, get the ball up in the air for lower
Possibly,
hits in the face?
possibly. I mean, it'd be very hard to test for that, but ultimately you can only go by what Cobra are kind of telling us in the marketing spiel. But yeah, a little bit of flex in that face is giving you a 70% hotter spot. So flex. If you can find that hot spot, pretty good.
I can't find any spot now. The only thing I don't like about these rails, in fact there's two things I don't like. The first one is if I'm on a tight lie and I know that's sticking out the bottom, in my theory, in my head, I think I've got that chance of thinning it because this is going to bounce off the ground. In the rough, get it, but off a really tight fairway, that worries me.
Right,
and I found that when you drag the club back, if you, them first few inches, if you're keeping it on the ground, that gets caught. And that just annoys me.
Yeah, it just upsets your, intrudes into your golf shot.
It messes with my zen.
Okay. Right.
But from above, I love the C in the logo. And I love the little bits of yellow and red lipstick around it. And the fact it's matte gets
you like the look of that?
I like the look on the top. Bottom, a little bit too busy for me. Face wise, because it's black, I struggle to see it, to be honest. It sort of just
blends in.
Yeah, and it kind of makes it feel like the face is bulbous as opposed to slanted down because of the colour. But we've got to worry about that when we hit the face first, Dan. 207, 3-3 spin.
Not quite as tinny from this area over here in the noise off the face compared to the Callaway.
Oh, absolutely not. No, this is you get a little ping off it, but it's more of that, you know, what you're saying, that power strike as a crack as opposed to a big tinny ping that the Callaway gives you. I do like that crack because it makes me know I've hit it off the Callaway.
Not getting as much feel off the face of that one.
No.
Or should we say feedback?
Yeah, it's like noise feedback, because feel and feedback are all senses based, aren't they? So I knew I'd hit it well by the feel in my hands, but sound wise I couldn't have known where I hit that off the face. So this is 19 degrees as well, so it's going the right distance. However, that one was quite well centred.
It's a good hit. Really good hit.
214.
Which is where you pretty much said that your current 19-degree hybrid goes, 215, you said earlier?
And it's a good shot shape for me, just a slight push out to the right, and we're talking a few yards. But no, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Dan.
You're impressed. I brought something in that you're impressed with. That's
impressed.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
It's not going to take a lot to beat the Callaway blocks. Oh, thin ball.
How does it feel off the bottom?
No, not good.
No?
But then what does?
Not a lot. Did you get a bit of shuddering up the face though, up through the shaft?
Tell you what, no. I only knew I'd thinned it at the heel because I got the feedback from the club. So it goes, in that respect, it gave me good feedback about where I struck it. But there wasn't that like ow moment in your hands that you can get with some clubs. I'm impressed, Dan. I'm impressed.
Let me have a go.
It works. Right then, Dan. So this is your choice. Tell me about the looks.
Yeah, I think I'm preferring the gloss finish on the Callaway over the Cobra. You know, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the matte finish on this particular one. I love the lipstick around the back. You you mentioned there. I prefer the chevron on the Callaway over this C with the Cobra markings on it. The reason for that is because that one's more like an arrow and pointing you into position, whereas this one is just literally the marking of the company. I just think that doesn't really, even though it's an alignment aid to a point, the Callaway one I think is just a little bit better from that side of it for lining up. But yeah, I kind of get what you're saying with the face as well, and how it blends into the face of the club from the top. It's all black and it kind of rolls quite nicely, doesn't it? You can see, looking down, it's it's got quite a smooth finish on that.
Yeah. That's a good hit.
Yeah, 210, so that's going, I don't know, what did it go, 3 yards further than what I got out the Callaway, but again, 1 degree difference in loft. I have to take into consideration there. And
with a 19, is that kind of your number, 210?
Yeah, I carry a 21 degree, which is like a 205 club, which is my kind of replacement for my 3-iron. I could probably get a bit more out of this, to be honest with you, feeling it.
I feel you kind of need to.
210 again.
Oh, I got 214.
210. Bit pushy, a little bit toey that time. Felt a little bit of twist in the face, but the sound, I think I prefer the sound out of this one maybe because it's slightly duller than what I was getting out of the Callaway. That's a better one. That's drawing back. That's 216.
Oh, damn it!
Got you. Just a nice shot, drawing back towards the target, but. First impressions, I do like it. I do like it. I prefer the Callaway over this one in the fact of the gloss finish. I prefer the shape of this. This is more in my eye line when it comes to the shape. I love the fact that the toe kind of blends down towards the ground, which the other one was kind of set up a little bit. And I do like the face on this as well. That sort of blending into the face is much, much better as well. So am I feeling anything different from the split rails? Not really, to be honest with you. Not feeling anything different. Don't feel like I'm getting any extra sweet spot or anything like that. So I'm not too bothered about the rails either. I don't feel like you saying they scuff a little bit, and you would notice it on this mat more than anywhere else, but I've never really been put off too much by the rails. So this club, yeah, I like it. I like the look of it.
To remark these bad boys up?
Yeah, let's do that. So pretty good review.
I enjoyed that. I was surprised.
Were you surprised with what, both of them?
No, I wasn't surprised with this because I've reviewed this separately.
You've hit it before.
Previously.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I was a little bit surprised over the Cobra because I've never really acknowledged Cobra for hybrids. I've just kind of dismissed it straight off the bat.
Have you? Right. Okay. That's
so it was because of this rail.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I tried a 3-wood once back last year. That was catching on the mat, and that just put me off instantly off anything else.
Because there used to be a problem in the old Titleist. There used to be a Titleist driver, the 917. You know when it had the screw ports in the back?
Yeah, yeah.
I heard through the grapevine that Jordan Spieth didn't like it because as he pulled the club away, it gathered up the ground as he went through. So I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it just sort of catches. That put me off the mat, and I was like, if I'm going to go and practice with this, and every time I drag it back, it's just going to catch and catch. It would just annoy me to the point I'd sell it quite quickly.
Okay, so let's have a little look at the numbers then.
Right, so start with my Maverick looks. 4. I made it quite obvious, blatant. I don't like the look of it. No. Not for me. No. There's not a lot going on. Yeah. Don't like the iron. So 4 for looks. Feel, I'd give it an 8. I love the feel off the face. Yeah. I love it. Considering I've not really liked these iron faces. Yeah. Really good. Sound, 9. I just don't think there's going to be anything beating that sound for me. Yeah. It's personal opinion. And workability 5, and I've done that because of my ability levels again. Okay. I can hit it high. Yeah. I feel I can fade it quite well. But if I try and draw it and keep it low, that's when I feel mistakes can come into it, and there's the forgiveness in that because of how the loft doesn't work so much. So that's got a 5 on workability. Okay. So total out of 40, because these clubs are 40, because there's no 7 iron, is 26 for the Maverick.
Okay, and then the Cobra?
So the Cobra looks, I've given it a 7. Love the matte finish, love the top, love it from the top. I've marked it down purely because it's too busy on the bottom, and I don't like these rails. Okay. Don't like the look of them.
Fair enough.
Don't see the point in them. I think it's just there for their sake.
Yeah.
Feel, I'll give it an 8 as well. I feel it was just as good as this. Yeah, off the face. you know, it gave me good feedback and it launched really well.
Yeah.
Sound, I'll give it a 7. Really good. It's just not the Maverick.
No, okay, I get that.
So it's a good sound for me. And workability, again, I'll give it a 5 because I equally struggle to draw. If I try and draw either, I hook
Overturn it.
and I struggle to keep hybrids low. I struggle to keep anything low, but especially hybrids.
Yeah.
So that wins by 1 point on 27 for me.
Right, okay. Well, for me, if we look at the Maverick to start us off with, so if we look at the Maverick, I've given it a 5 in looks.
Yeah.
And again, the reason I've given it that is because I'll be honest, I just would never use this club. I don't like the look of the high toe finish on it. It's very square in its look at the face. I'm just not a fan of that kind of look. However, the feel, I've given it a 9.
You have given it a 9.
Because, you know, I don't know what else hybrids feel like, but to be honest with you, this one feels as good as anything I've ever tested. So I have to give it a 9. You know, I'm that far away from giving it a 10, really. I would give it a 10 because it's as good as anything that I felt from a hybrid. If we then look at the sound of it, again, it's a little bit tinny, but I kind of get that. I expect to I don't really know what hybrids are going to not sound like or sound like. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I've got a good sense of what I want from a driver to feel like and sound like. Yeah. But for hybrids, I've not really got that same feeling.
Yeah. Because you've only recently come into hybrids, haven't you?
Yeah, I've always been more of a long iron player, to be honest with you, as I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Then, workability, I've given it a 6. And I've given it a 6 because I just struggle to stop I struggle to hit that sort of low punch shot, keep it out of the wind, keep it down with a hybrid, any hybrid that is. I really, really do struggle. So I can work it left to right, right to left, that's not a problem. I can get the ball up in the air, not a problem. But again, just keeping it low, really, really struggle with that.
But the counter argument is hybrids aren't really designed to be kept low. That's the whole point of them, aren't they?
No, they're not. But with a long iron, I can hit a long iron up in the air, I can move it left to right, and I can knock it down. Yeah. So a long iron kind of, you know, if I was going to replace this for a 4 iron, I'm going to get more control over for a 4 iron than I am a hybrid 4 iron, should I say. Then we go to the Cobra. And when it comes to the actual looks of the Cobra, I've given it a 7. Okay. Because I could game this club. I could put this club in the bag and play it. Yeah, I because
completely agree.
I like that little bit of roll that it's got on the back, on the top of it. I don't like the high toe compared to the high toe that the Callaway offers, but I do like this. Kind of sits in my eye. I've got a hybrid in my bag which is very similar to the look of this from actual shape and the pair effect of it. I love the sort of rolling into the face as well. I think that's really, really nice. I've down marked it fractionally purely based on the matte finish on top and the centre marker.
Yeah, because you're a gloss guy, aren't you?
I like the glossy finish, yeah. But that centre marker, it's nice. Like, I understand that it looks alright, but I think the chevron looks a bit better from an alignment aid, kind of that way down.
Yeah. Because it's kind of, that's got points at different places, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't really. I'll be honest. I think I preferred the old snake on top.
Yeah.
The Cobra.
Nice,
that was good. But I do like the lipstick around the back. Frames it up quite nicely.
Yeah.
So I've given it a 7. And then from a feel point of view, no different than what I was getting from the Callaway. I've given it a 9 again, because even though it sounds a bit thuddier, I don't dislike it. I kind of like it from. It's what I don't know what to expect again from the feel of any of these hybrids that I hit. But I've given it a 9 because, again, that's exactly what I expect it to sound like as a hybrid. Then we go to sound, and I've given it an 8.
So you've given it the same as the Maverick?
I've given it the same as the Maverick.
2 different sounds, though.
They are 2 different sounds, but again, you know, what's right and wrong?
Personal opinion.
Personal preference. And I'm not bothered either way, whichever way I kind of go with it. So I could game
You're not
either.
offended by loudness, and you're not offended by loud dullness or anything?
Not in these at all. As a driver, it would be very different, but with this, not at all. And then workability, again, I've given it a 6 because, again, it's no different. I can hit it up in the air, I can move it left to right, right to left, but I can't keep them down. Yeah. And that's where I just struggle to get that right with these workability with these clubs.
So which one wins, Dan? Which one wins?
Well, I think the Cobra wins, doesn't it? 28 in the Maverick and 30 in the Cobra.
Okay,
so the Cobra wins because I would play the Cobra. Like, that wouldn't bother me to put that in the bag from a looks point of view, a feel point of view, and the performance of it. Whereas when it comes to the Maverick, Any Callaway one really that I've looked at over the years, again, I wouldn't want to put it in the bag because I just don't like the look of it. It doesn't fill me with a great deal of confidence.
Yeah, see, that surprises me. That this club surprises me, not what you said surprised me, because it's kind of everything I don't like about a hybrid.
Yeah.
But when I reviewed it independently, I was like, can I put this in the bag? Because it's just so good performing wise. But
if you can get your head over the other bit and you'd go purely on performance, then why wouldn't you put it in?
I just can't look at it every day.
Yeah. Every day you're playing golf.
I can't do it.
Well, there we have. Good reviews.
So, Cobra wins for both.
Yeah, Cobra wins both, yeah?
Yeah, 2 point gap with you, 1 point gap with me.
1 point gap with you. So it's been close, to be fair.
But the Cobra wins.
The Cobra wins. Let me know, put your comments down below. What do you think? Have you tested either of these 2 products? We'd like to hear what you have to say. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing from this particular show. And we look forward to seeing you again next Saturday.
Really? Saturday?
Already? Saturday.
See you next Saturday.
Cheers.